This is The Office Memo, a podcast about podcasting for entrepreneurs and business owners. If you want to differentiate yourself from your competitors and bring your marketing to the next level, you need to start a podcast. We will give you tips on creating the best possible podcast for your business so you can reach those potential clients and set yourself apart in your market. This memo you will definitely want to hear. Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Office Memo. Today, we're talking about creating a memorable intro and outro for your podcast. An intro and outro immediately reveals your personality so that people can choose whether or not they relate to what you have to say. By creating an intro, you're making your podcast more memorable. When people hear the voice on your intro and the first strains of music, they know what's coming. You become known for the phrases or music you use. Sound is subconscious. It reaches us on a deeper emotional level without us even knowing about it. So it is something to create strategically. Everyone has something unique that makes them who they are. Having a unique sound sets you apart from other podcasts in your niche. It allows you to quickly demonstrate who you are, and it reflects your professionalism. As a business owner, it is very important to sound like you know what you're doing. So practice recording your intro and outro until you're satisfied that it fully reflects you and your business. Now let's talk music. Your intro is the start of your audio brand. The type of music you use and the words you speak must represent your brand's DNA. Often enough, I hear very upbeat, loud music that seems totally out of place. When the music and the topic of the show do not really go well with each other, it confuses. Find music that really fits well with your brand and you as a person. But also choose a song that not only you like, but will resonate with your target audience. You can use license-free music, for example YouTube Studio, where you often only need to link to the artist to be able to use it. But the downside is that everyone can use it, and it's possible that other podcasts are using it in their intro-outro. A bit of a step up is to buy licensed music, for example through Premium Beat. The chance of other podcasters using the same song is strongly diminished, the artist gets paid, and you can use the song in your podcast as much as you like. Best option is to use music that is produced just for your show specifically by a musician or a production company. You can also extend it by asking the musician to create parts for segments that you can use throughout your podcast. Creating chapters will become more and more popular in the near future. When you have music specifically produced for your podcast, you can be sure that it represents your brand and that it is unique. So what else do you need to consider when it comes to creating your intro and outro? Mentioning the name of your podcast, your name and what your show is about in the first 15 seconds or so. People make fast decisions to listen or tune out. And for the same reason, do not make your intro longer than 30 seconds. Talk about the show, you as host, and then move on to the actual episode. The episode should start off with a quick summary of the content of the episode. Or, if you record a new intro for every episode, quickly mention what people can expect. This is mainly for the benefit of new listeners. In those first 30 seconds, you need to convince them that this is the episode they want to listen to. Be yourself when recording your podcast, but also when recording your intro. Don't pretend you are presenting a boxing game. Be you. It's more authentic and easier to uphold in the long run and less confusing to your listeners. They're looking for a connection and they want that with you. You can also choose to have someone else do the voiceover for your intro. It is a nice change for your listeners to hear someone other than you, and could make you seem more credible as another person is vouching for your expertise and credentials. Don't make a very professional sounding intro followed by crappy, echo and muffled sounding episode. I am repeating this again. Don't make a very professional sounding intro followed by a crappy echo or muffled sounding episode. I hear this a lot. The recording of your episode needs to be of the same quality as your intro, so there is a nice flow from your earlier recorded intro to the new recorded episode. End your episode with a summary of the points you want your audience to take away from the episode. Mention other episodes that are related to the topic of the current one, so listeners are triggered to keep on listening to your podcast instead of moving on to the next. The outro. The outro is where your call to action needs to be. What do you want your audience to do besides listen to more episodes? For one, you want them to subscribe or follow your podcast and leave a review on an app that facilitates that. But you also want something out for this for your business. Perhaps book a consult, or you want them to go to your website and buy a product. Don't add too many call to actions because the audience will need to be able to remember what is asked of them and give clear instructions so it will be easy for them to follow them up after the episode. Keep it short because statistics show that a lot of people cut out at the start of the outro, so make sure you still keep their attention until the end. There's the option of every time creating new intros and outros. Some people prefer the familiarity of the first half minute or so of an intro. This is the time they settle in and get ready for the episode, perhaps still fiddling with their headphones and volume. Others say that this is the right moment to spice things up and catch your audience off guard and immediately tuned into the episode. As with everything in the podcast world, you do what's good for you and your audience. Creating new intros and outros every episode is more work, so you need to see if it's worth it. You can keep track of it with your statistics and of course ask your audience what they prefer. So, to sum things up, create an intro that reflects you and your brand. Use the right music. Keep it short and give all the relevant information for your listeners so they want to stick around. And create a short and sweet outro with a good call to action. If you want more information on how to successfully make a podcast or how to launch a podcast, I suggest you listen to the earlier episodes for which you find the links in the episode description. Thanks for listening. Until next time. Many thanks for listening. We hope you liked the episode. If you want to start a podcast with our assistance, please feel free to contact us at info@lagerservices.com. Until next time.